this work for us. Please give a hand to this committee. We are really looking forward to putting diverse teams together to do events like this throughout the year to honor and highlight all the achievements. Again, thank you and enjoy our program for the rest of this afternoon. And to start our program, I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Angela Campbell, who's going to offer a reflection. Dr. Angela Campbell is a published author, mentor to many, an educator, and the Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Mission at Cabrini University. Welcome.
Thank you, everyone, and happy Black History Month to all of you. Thank you, Madam Executive Director, and the esteemed guests and awardees today. Thank you to the Delaware County Council, to all of the judges, esteemed members of our representatives in Delaware County and across the region. I am so happy to be here to share a reflection to kind of center us on how important this day is. And I want to extend a special gratitude to Ms. Sharice Rowe, who deserves such a round of applause for her leadership, her vision, her attention to detail and operational execution. We miss you at Cabrini University. And you have a gift in her. And when you talk about African American history, heritage, and culture and celebrating us in the arts, I say that African American history and culture is alive and living in and through all of us, especially those of us of African descent, to say that we are proud members of communities across the diaspora, and that we bring to the world our gifts, our talents, our excellence, our memories, the ways in which we've overcome traumas intergenerationally and traumas that are compounded upon traumas, and yet, and still, we find inside ourselves the capacity to live and thrive, not just survive, and to pass those seeds along to our children and to their children. And so in this reflection, I want you to look at your neighbor. Just take a moment and look at the person next to you on either side. And I want you to take a moment to appreciate the beauty, the brilliance, the things that are different from yourself in another human being. And to say, I'm happy to be here with you. I'm happy during this Black History Month. You're so happy you're talking about it. That's good. That's good. This is a happy time. This is, from what I hear, a historic moment in Delaware County. A historic moment. Let's give ourselves and give you a round of applause. You in Delaware County, all of you Delaware County residents, had the courage, the power, and the strength to say we're going to honor our own. That Black history is American history. It is our history. It is our collective story of struggle and triumph, transcendence. It's a story of our humanity, the best of who we are, and also telling the truth of the worst of who we've been, and saying never again will we commit those atrocities. Never again will we have a community that doesn't have appropriate and proper and equal representation. Never again will we have mass incarceration, poverty that goes unchallenged. That we will have a community where everyone knows and believes that they belong, they have a voice, that they are valued, right? That is what you are shining here today in Delaware County. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. This is who you are. This is who we are. I'm inspired by you in Delaware County. I'm looking now to see what Delaware County is going to produce on the map and for this state, for our country, and for the world. We are not new to excellence. This is what we came to these lands with. I teach a course called The History of Racism and Anti-Racism. And I do not start with slavery. I start with the kingdoms in Africa, throughout the continent. I start there with humanization, I talk about the ways in which humans forgot who we are and how we're connected and caused dehumanization, and how those seeds of justice in Black people, in white people, in indigenous people, in Latino people, and Asian Americans, how that sprung forth the call for justice. That seed for humanization is in each and every one of us. It's in all humans. That's what we stoke. That's what we're teaching about. That's what we're celebrating today. The history of the ways in which we disrupted dehumanization and called upon each other to create anew, to liberate spaces and places and empower all of us. I say to you, I look at all of your faces. I look at the young man who helped me on the corner to find a parking spot. There was love there. There was appreciation there. The people who produced the food, who made sure we had lighting and heat, the people that go unnamed and unnoticed, those are the people that enable us to be at our best. So let's honor all of them as we honor ourselves, as you are honored, that you remember the people that make things more pleasant for you, that make life worth living for you. And then let's do that for somebody else, Delaware County. I say thank you for inviting me here to give you a reflection and to reflect back to you the best in yourselves. Look at your neighbor. Neighbor? I'm happy you're here. I love you. I'm going to do the best that I can by you and for you and for you and with you. Together we rise. Happy Black History Month, Delaware County. Thank you for inviting me here today. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Okay, Dr. Campbell, that was amazing. Thank you for that beautiful reflection. How many people here now want to take her class? I mean, everybody, you now have like 3 new classes, because that was amazing. Thank you for those words. And Charnay, I don't know where you are, but thank you, that was amazing. I hope nobody from a studio recording person heard that and takes you away from us, because that was amazing. So my name is Elaine Schaefer. I am on Delaware County Council. I am so honored to be here today to introduce some really important people and to welcome you all. And I want to say thank you for filling this room. This is an amazing turnout for an amazing event. And may I say, it is about time in Delaware County to have this. So we're here celebrating Black History Month. We're thinking about and celebrating the amazing achievements and the contributions of incredible Black leaders from all time and the way they changed history. But we're also celebrating current leaders and the people who are in this room, the current leaders that continue to make change in our region, in our country, around the world. And we're very, very lucky today to have 2 of those current leaders that are going to speak to you, and I'm going to introduce them. The first is Cynthia Ann Jeter. She is the current president of the NAACP, the Media Area Branch. Let's hear it for Cynthia. And the second is Senator Anthony Hardy Williams, who really does not need an introduction in this room, but as we all know, has a real lifetime of public service to our region, our community, but who currently serves us as a senator for parts of Delaware County. So I am going to go ahead and invite, I think Cynthia is coming up first to speak. And again, I thank you all for being here, and especially our leaders for leading us.
Wow, good afternoon, everyone. It is so humbling to look out upon your beautiful faces and to see such diversity and people of color here in the Delaware County Government Building. This is something. This is something. I am Cynthia Ann Jeter. I currently serve as the president of the Media Area NAACP. It is an honor and a job that I take very, very seriously. I certainly want to acknowledge some of our members that are here. I don't know if Lisa Jacobs had to leave yet. Oh, there's Lisa in the back. and Pastor Alexis Washington, and there may be others, I don't know. We are proud to be a part of an international movement. There are well over 2 million members of the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. We are one of 2,200 units in the state, in the country, in the United States, one of 115 units in the state of Pennsylvania. I am so excited, and our unit bring greetings to acknowledge certainly Dr. Taylor and Mr. Womack and their trailblazing efforts to do what they are have accomplished, to explore all the things that they want to do and want to accomplish. We certainly acknowledge all the other people that are being celebrated today as well, many of the people that I know, and I'm glad to be a part of that. One of the few things I just wanted to mention is our leaders, particularly Dr. Taylor and Mr. Womack, have gotten to this point. We don't know what that trail was or what that path was, but you know, I can say this from my heart. Unfortunately, that won't matter. What will begin to matter and what they will be charged with, what they will be honored by, what they will be challenged to do is, what did you do in that position of power, of opportunity? How did you challenge the status quo? What changes are you going to make? What changes will be systemic? How will you work with every community in this county? What is equity for everyone? That's what we will choose to remember you by, what we will choose to hold you accountable to. And I'm here to say our unit certainly looks forward to supporting you in whichever way we can. I don't have a physical presentation. About 2 months ago, we did honor the entire county with our Foot Soldier for Justice Award, and we were so glad to have them all there and to celebrate the work they've done. We are, being our unit, 100 years old this year. And you know, as I've said before, and I'll wind down, as I said before, that is a bittersweet celebration. The fact that most NACPs come out of some racial injustice that occurred. No different here. There was a huge incident. The fact that we're 100 years old, operating on all volunteers, no office, no staff, no big budget. And we are busier now than ever. Let's think about that. As we fight them taking away trying to eradicate our history, trying to get rid of the black farmers, our health inequities, we are as relevant today as we were in the past. We have about 192 members currently. We welcome anyone who's interested in joining us. We would certainly extend to you the opportunity to sit in on our meetings. All our meetings are open to the public. But anyway, as I close, I want to say congratulations. Keep up the good work. To all my friends that are here, I love you, and I think we can continue to support each other as we go forward. Let's build each other up and not bring ourselves down. Thank you, Ms. Campbell, for the words of encouragement. And everyone, enjoy the afternoon. Thank you.
Good afternoon. So before I start, there's a few things I gotta say. There's a lot of important people in this room and significant influences across it, so I give you greetings to everyone in your titles and your positions to start off with. But let me thank the cook. Because let me be very clear to you all, for those who don't come from the pigmentation that I have, African Americans have traditions. So if you're gonna serve fried chicken, it better be right. Greens and macaroni and cheese are measured upon our grandparents, my grandmother in particular. Did you all enjoy the meal? Yes. Let me ask one more question though. How many of you use your forks? Raise your hands. Y'all are really fraudulent. And the black people, y'all are an embarrassment. Who eats fried chicken with a fork and a knife? Black history is over. Black history is officially over because y'all broke all the traditions that we have. That being said, did she say that we're in public? Now you broke another rule. We are very authentic about who we are. And my grandmother would tell you the truth no matter who you were, where you were, when you were, and she would tell you exactly what you were. I remember the first time I came home from college, it was a time when I was thin. I just want y'all to know that, right? I came home from college, I walked through the grand door, and I missed everybody my first year. I missed them, ran through Grandma, she was my grandma. Hey baby, how you doing? Hey Grandma, how you doing? She said, boy, you got fat. That's our history. Truth, right? That being said, you have some extraordinary people you selected today. Not just because they, made history by being elected to a council that never received them before, but because of the work that they're doing. And I got to put it into context for those of us. I grew up in Philadelphia, but I was a member of the Nile Swim Club when I was a child. Now, as a child, you don't necessarily know why the Nile was created. That was frolicking in water and having fun. You didn't know it was because white people didn't want to swim in the same water with you in Delaware County, which was literally 2 miles from my house. That ugliness was not a part of my being probably until I was probably in middle school or junior high school at some point in my existence. I just thought everybody got along. I thought all black people were successful. I thought that the guy who picked up the trash was as successful as the guy who was the lawyer and the doctor. We all lived together and we spent money together, but prospered together, right? The Nile Swim Club was a place that was an enclave for many of us to get together and honor ourselves in that regard. I didn't know that Delaware County had the history that it had until I got to be a teenager. So I don't want you to take for granted this gathering that is just a ceremony for a month. Be very clear, Black History Month is American history. Some people get it confused. When Dr. King is honored, they forget the fact that the civil rights movement was the movement that liberated those who were veterans, those who were disabled, those who were women, and certainly those who were LGBT community. They came from the architecture, design, and the fight from those students who were whipped in the South. That was the civil rights movement. So when we say Black History Month, folks, it is American history. We've contributed to the military, to science, to business, to everything possible that this country's had. And even with that, on occasion when they deny me my full privilege, I don't buckle. This county was one of the most terroristic counties in Pennsylvania when it came to African Americans. Denying you the right to vote even though it was legal to vote. Excessive taxes, imprisonment, a whole litany of unemployment opportunities that were denied us in this county. And I want you to be clear, we are here for a reason. Certainly that's the history to inform our present, but it doesn't define our future. But our future has to still continue to fight. Yes, I'm a state senator, I'm gonna say some privileged words on these extraordinary people who've served us. But be very clear, I'm also a member of an organization called the Delaware County Black Caucus. Those who are members, if you please stand, please. Note, Dr. Taylor is a member, and before she was elected to office, since she's been elected to office, she's been active. Let's give her a round of applause for that simply as well. Be seated. I would like to say that all these issues of race and confrontation are over, and sometimes, I have a lot of friends. I have all types of friends, and, when I have conversations, I'm painfully honest with them. And when we talk about race, they get uncomfortable, because sometimes it's reflective upon them, it's reflective upon me, it's reflective upon us. And in Delaware County, be very clear, a young child was killed by law enforcement 3 years ago, innocently standing by at a football game with no armament. And frankly, the judicial system was moving slowly. It was not quite sure whether it was going to prosecute. The members of the Delaware County Black Caucus, surrogate members, and other folks of other communities band together and cause the judicial system to appropriately mete out justice. There have been people who have been liberated from prison who are unfortunately incarcerated unfairly. There was a march when George Floyd was murdered. They tried to do a march from here to a place called Ridley. The first time it happened, motorcycle gangs and others circled the folks who were marching and caused them to disband out of fear. The next time the Delaware County Black Caucus got involved, we had 500 people march peacefully with police officers from every town guarding us, including the police officer from Ridley, to explain to them that we are all equal in the eye of God and certainly by law in this country. The history, Black History Month, is the foundation upon which Delaware County needs to understand and acknowledge for the first time in its history that we are all one. We are all God's children. And it doesn't really matter where you started, it matters where you're going, and we need to be a part of that conversation. I am proud that we are here today for the first time in its history, but I'll be moved the next time we come together and we're doubled in numbers. That the boroughs from across Delaware County decide to send all their leaders to a gathering in an auditorium where we can understand American history is our history. And that the gifts that our inspirational speakers spoke about are not concepts, but are defined in science and technology and exploring and landing on the moon as we speak today, and exemplified by the people that we're going to honor who are here today. I'm privileged as a member of the Senate of Pennsylvania to acknowledge two folks on County Council. There's a lot that I could say about both of them. There's a lot that they've done already, and there are those who will question why they do them and acknowledge African Americans. And I'm going to tell them both proudly that I'm appreciative of the fact that the population, which is still underserved in Delaware County, still the poorest population in Delaware County, still the most under-resourced population in Delaware County, needs the government to reflect upon it and shine its light of services upon that. And sometimes that does require attention above and beyond everyone else. And sometimes that does make people uncomfortable who are in public office. I want to remind everyone who is an elected official here, not only did Dr. King die, but countless numbers of people who walked to those meetings in the middle of the night were murdered and thrown into fields that we don't even know the name of. So for me, when it comes to some point of discomfort because I'm serving in the public eye, I find little discomfort when it comes to that. I want a horn blared on the injustices of all people, and certainly those who happen to look like me who are unfairly treated. Dr. Monica Taylor and Richard R. Womack have not forgotten that in their extraordinary service to all of us in Delaware County. While they truly do serve everyone in Delaware County, they understand the needs of those who don't necessarily have a voice, the voiceless, as we would say. And an extraordinary event happened a year ago. Before, I don't know if it was a year ago, you'll tell me the correct date. When they both were running, they talked about a healthcare system, a Department of Health. Now, there's a lot of things I could talk about, but I choose to talk about this. Understand something, there's two venues or institutions in this country that people in this country depend upon to make sure that they're safe. Well, three, obviously police officers, but education and health. If you do not have a health department, you cannot measure the outcomes of those folks who need some delivery system. And I will not tell you it was by mistake that you did not have a health department for so long. That was by design. It was by design so that those who they did not want to serve were never counted. This young woman, when she first ran, Richard, I apologize, she ran before you did, you joined in, but came and met me in a diner in Philadelphia and said, I want to run for county council. I thought it was nice that she came to meet with me. And a lot of people come to meet me wanting to run, for office. And I don't think she even knows this, but when she started saying what she wanted to do, she brought up this health department. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't think she quite understands what it means to create a health department, period, let alone one in Delaware County. She was so focused upon that I became focused upon making sure she got to county council. You're a woman, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're an African American, all those are inspirational things. But when you said that was important to you, it was important to me. And I want to tell you that because you've created it, that so many lives are being serviced, so many children are being saved, so many grandparents are not going out with any support in their households. I want us to stand on our feet and salute Dr. Monica Taylor. That is awful weak applause. Richard Womack. For those who don't know Richard Womack, you brought your family along, I see. Okay, never mind. Richard Womack, for a long time, served many elected officials in terms of supporting their desires to get to elected office. And many times, Richard Womack served them and supported them and financially supported them and knocked on doors for them, and they got elected and they exceeded all expectations of disappointment, forgetting who they are, where they come from, and forgetting his phone number. Richard, I want you to understand that that was not lost by me. The fact that you came from a union, even though there was times that there were indignities within the union that were served upon you. The fact that you were working in a Delaware County in a community that did not acknowledge African-American men in particular, you did not waver, you did not apologize, you did not concede, you did not move out of the way of controversy. Matter of fact, you ran towards the fire. Many of us who sit in this room today sit here because of your work, your commitment to us. And both of these folks, their legacies are written not uniquely to them, but truly inspired by Dr. King's work of voluntary service, lack of self-serviceness, and acknowledging why we're here and the purpose of supporting people of color and African Americans. So Richard, I want to tell you that while we can't give you all of your flowers, we can start giving you a few. And those of us who are from a certain generation, Monica, you're not from that generation. You got a long way to go. Those of us from a certain generation, think about the days to come and what's in front of you. And I will tell you that the road is now plowed, and it's, by the way, you can't take it back. Delaware County, I want to tell you, you cannot turn the clock back. I want everybody to understand in this room. We see some scary moments, right? We see some scary moments on the horizon. Be very clear. There will be no turning the clock back, okay? There will be no denying people justice in this room. There will be no reversing a woman's right to choose in this county. That will not happen in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania as long as there's breath in my body and a governor who's a Democrat, sorry, Republicans. There will not be a reversal on a woman's right to choose what she chooses to do with her embryos or her body. That is a part of our history that will never change. And opening up doors of people of color and African Americans, that will also not change. And that is because of you two, the work you're currently doing and will continue to do. And so on behalf of a grateful state, an extremely appreciative county, and a group of black folks and white folks, on a certain day in February, we want to stand in tribute to you. So please come and get your rewards. Thank you. By the way, I apologize. Have a seat. Normally there's a leather backer on this thing. I don't know what happened to them, but nonetheless, we will get you your leather backer for the acknowledgement. I just want you to know that. I know. This is Kmart for today. I'm sorry.
Oh, Adrian wants a picture.
Oh, sure. Okay. This is you, come on. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Williams. Thank you, Cynthia, and everyone who's here. This is really amazing to see how full this room is for our first Black History event, and this is the first of many to come. And so I'm just gonna, everybody from the county, we have to take note. We're gonna have to find a bigger venue next year. We're gonna go towards that goal of 3 times the size. It's just been an incredible journey, and we stand and we are coming behind so many trailblazers, right? And there's so many people in this room who are the first and who have done so much for their community and are working, and we can't do our job if we don't have those partnerships with you in the community, with all of you in our county government who have been helping us move our vision forward. And the 5 of us as a county council have just worked so well. And we have really pushed the narrative and have tried to move our county forward and thinking through what impacts our county, how can we make a difference, who is underserved in our county, how can we do a better job, how can we connect more with them, and how do we improve, right? The only reason I'm here and the only reason Richard's here is to serve our community and to figure out the best way to do that. And so thank you all for your help and for your support, and we still have a long way to go. And we have a lot of work to do. So I look forward to continuing our work together. Thank you.
Well, I first wanted to say I want to thank God for allowing us to be here today. I want to thank everyone in this room who's here. Because of you, it's the reason why Dr. Teller and I are standing here today. There is, like Dr. Teller said, there's quite a few that has came before us and laid the groundwork for us. And we decided that we're going to follow that trail and continue the fight. It was a struggle to get here, I'm going to tell you. It was not easy. But my life has never been easy. Even coming from the labor movement, I always had to fight. In the streets, I always had to fight. Anything I tried to do to progress, I had to fight. So you know what I'm used to? Fighting. And I will continue to fight to make a difference. Not just for me, but for like my granddaughter. Stand up, Amaya. That's who I'm fighting for. That they'll have an equal opportunity. Because we didn't have that equal opportunity. You know, Senator Wayne, you had to fight. You had to take it. And I'll say this. I love being in Delaware County, as racist as it was, because it was a challenge to me. And I always loved the challenge, especially when you tell me I can't do something. You better get ready and tighten up them boots, because I'm coming. And we came. I mean, we came, we fought, and we're here today. And one thing I pride myself on, and I said if I ever get on county council, that I wanted to have a diverse working place. If you look around this room, there's a lot of women, a lot of people of color, there's Democrats, and there was Republicans. There's independents, there's all nationalities that's working in Delaware County. A few years ago, this room wouldn't look like this. So I am proud to say that we have started a trend, and we can't go back now. We will continue to fight. We will continue to make the playing field equal, because we know that we come a long ways, and we still got a long ways to go. And before I sit down, there's one I have to say. We look at Black History Month. Everybody talks about Dr. King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. They're great leaders. But my shero is Fannie Lou Hamer. Yes, Fannie Lou Hamer is the reason why we had the Voting Rights Act in 1965. And she suffered and she fought and fought. It was so bad that they took two people of color, two men of color, and beat her unmercifully. But it didn't break her spirit, and she continued to fight, and I thank God for Fannie Lou Hamer. And as I say this, I may not be able to help everyone, but if I can just help someone, my living shall not be in vain. Thank you.
You wanna switch sides with me? All right.
I'd be remiss. I won't be able to go back to my labor family if I don't do this. I want to recognize Danny Bauer, who is the president of the AFL-CIO in Philadelphia, who's been a great support. If you want and also Thelma Clemens, who is the president of the A. Philip Randolph Institute for Philadelphia and Delaware County.
Thank you, Richard. All right, so our county is fortunate to have many members of the community, including our schools, organizations, leaders in government, artists, and faith-based groups who work to educate, celebrate, and promote Black history and culture through their work, through advocacy, through education, and through arts. Their contributions of Black Americans and their endeavors to learn and thrive throughout history and make unforgettable marks in our nation as artists, scientists, educators, business people, influential thinkers, members of the faith community, athletes, and political and governmental leaders reflects the greatness of our community. County Council is proud to recognize the accomplishments of Black Americans right here in our county, who work to create a more equal and just society, and who work to preserve and celebrate Black history. We are honored to present resolutions recognizing the work of incredible leaders in our county. And this afternoon, we're going to recognize a few of them. Now, I want to remind you all that we have a lot of amazing, amazing individuals in Delaware County, and we're going to recognize a few of those who are just trailblazers in their own right now. So first, and we're going to have them come up. So as you hear your name, come on up. We have a resolution, and we also have a pen that we're going to hand to you. So please come up when you hear your name called. Dr. Rodney Bradley. We also have Delaware County Court of Common Pleas Judge Atunike B. Moss. We have our Director of Military and Veterans Affairs, Colonel Arthur Jenkins. Colonel Jenkins. We have Widener Professor, Dr. Marina Barnett, and my soror. Mr. James Turner. Members of the Delaware County Black Caucus. Whoever wants. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Mayor of the City of Chester, Mr. Stefan Roots. Reverend Alexis Washington. All right. And last but certainly not least, Constable Letitia Okeme. Congratulations on this very worthy recognition. And we're going to take a group photo in just a second. Thank you to all those joining us today during this wonderful celebration. Thank you, everyone, for coming out and for being a part of this first ever Black History Month celebration and recognizing all these amazing individuals who do work in Delaware County and abroad and all across this Commonwealth. So thank you all for your contributions. And thank you to our DEI team and our county's volunteer team who worked to create today's celebration. And the members of the county's Black community and our diverse vendor partners who provided the delicious food. And thank you everyone for celebrating with us.